Hey everyone!
We're here at the Monterey Bay Aquarium. This is one of the Central Coast's premier tourist destinations, and we thought we would take you guys through it.
Yeah, we've been coming here for 20, 30 years on our own since we were kids, and it's nice to see it bounce back after the pandemic.
Yeah, we're going to go and check out the Otter exhibit, the Kelp forest exhibit.
Some deep sea stuff.
There's a new deep sea exhibit that we've never been to before. We're going to check that out. Probably see a couple feedings.
I'm looking forward to seeing the penguins. I think they're going to be hopping around in there.
Yeah, there's penguins, definitely. Come along and check it out with us.
Yeah, let's go check it out. Hi, I'm Avi.
And I'm V.
Join us in our explorations of the Central Coast of California.
And our adventures beyond.
Well, I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah.
It's been a couple of years for us and everyone. This place is only recently reopened.
Yeah, like everything else, they were closed with the pandemic for a long time. Wow, is that the entry line?
Popular favorite. The end of the current line. The Monterey Bay Aquarium has been wowing visitors and making headlines since it first opened in 1984. From its massive, 3-story tall tank that was the first in the world to successfully display a living kelp forest, to its otter rescue program that was the only rehab center for the endangered sea otters up until just 5 years ago, to pioneering the science of jellyfish propagation, resulting in the largest collections of jellyfish in the world, to being the very first facility to display a great white shark, this aquarium has been at the forefront of marine biology. Not only here on the Central Coast, but around the globe.
Built in the site of an old sardine cannery, it's a large building with a lot to see over its 2 stories and multiple wings. As you come in the front entrance, you'll see the gift shop on your right. Just past that is the information booth. We recommend you stop here and find out what time the different animal feedings are scheduled for throughout the day. There are public feedings of the sea otters, the penguins, and the kelp forest display. You can plan your visit around which ones you want to see the most. Our favorites are the sea otters, which are not to be missed, and the kelp tank, where scuba divers actually dive into the tank and interact with the fish while feeding them. Unfortunately, we had just missed the final kelp tank feeding of the day by the time we arrived, so come early if you want to see that.
The impressive 28-foot tall tank gives visitors a chance to see into the underwater world of the kelp beds that are so iconic to the Monterey Bay. The success at keeping the tricky plant is due to the fact that the kelp's natural environment is so closely simulated. The top of the tank is open to direct sunlight, natural seawater from the bay is used to fill it, and there is a 5-foot tall surge machine that surges every 6 seconds in order to simulate the constant currents of the bay. I will say, watching the sea rise and fall is kind of oddly hypnotic. Just like, and then watching the fish float as well, I'm just feeling very tranquil right now.
Yeah, it's kind of cool how they bob in the current.
Aside from the kelp, this exhibit is home to a school of sardines, multiple species of local fish, eels, urchins, and sea stars, as well as several leopard sharks. There's one guy who keeps swimming around here who is humongous. It's definitely worth watching a feeding, in which divers feed the sharks by hand, answering audience questions while doing so.
With all the feedings, if you want a front row view, we'd recommend getting to the exhibit 15 to 20 minutes early, finding your spot, and staying put, as these feedings can get pretty crowded. Well, we missed the kelp tank feeding. We did manage to see the otter feeding, which is one of the cutest things you'll see while at the aquarium. The playful critters never fail to delight people of all ages with their adorable antics. has 2 levels, with the bottom for viewing under the water to watch the otters swim and dive, and the top level for viewing above the water line to watch the otters float and feed. During the feeding, you'll learn all about otter behavior, as well as about the important role this aquarium plays in helping sustain the local wild otter population.
Now what we're doing here is an enrichment toy feeding section. In the wild, they are tool users. They know how to use things like rocks to crack open the hard, crunchy shells of their preferred food. Those are little silicone toys stuffed full of those tasty bits of shrimp, squid, and clam. That way they can still practice their natural foraging behaviors as they work at getting the food out of all those fun toys. They can bang them on the rock workers' home windows to their heart's desire. When we bring in rescued pups from the wild, we're able to pair them up with these wonderful exhibit otters here that have demonstrated amazing maternal instincts. And they'll take those pups on as their own, teaching them everything they need to know to survive out in the wild.
This rescue program has been very successful. Studies show that up to 60% of the local wild otter population comes directly from these rescue pups or their descendants.
Would you say that otters are your favorite exhibit?
I don't know if they're my favorite, but they're definitely one of the best ones.
So now we're heading to the open sea. The beautiful and fascinating jellyfish display is a long-running visitor favorite. The display features dozens of species of all different shapes, sizes, and colors. No matter how many times you see it, watching these majestic creatures never really gets old. This is often where we spend the most time on our visits, wandering from tank to tank, watching the beautiful and hypnotic movements of the jellyfish, and getting lost in the otherworldly atmosphere of this incredible exhibit.
Into the lair of the peanut butter fish.
From there, we headed back upstairs to catch the final penguin feeding.
They seem like they're on the alert. They're like,
I think they know it's food time soon.
the penguin feeding is also quite cute and fun to watch. The energetic birds splash and dive for their food, leaving a trail of bubbles in their wake. The aquarium houses African penguins, so they're perfectly comfortable in our ice-free climate. There is only one level of viewing for this exhibit, so if you don't get here early enough, you could find yourself pretty far back in the standing room only section. So this is also the place where parts of Star Trek IV were filmed. And right about here we're finding out that Spock is swimming with the whales.
I think he's singing to that man.
So this is the new exhibit, Into the Deep. We've never seen this one before.
Yep, come join us, it's our first time.
The Into the Deep exhibit focused on the deepest and least explored parts of the ocean. And while it was informative, it was mostly digital displays and graphic representations, as well as one cool interactive game that Avi definitely enjoyed playing.
I survived!
To be honest, though, we didn't spend much time there before deciding to move on.
Want to go check out the tentacles?
Sure, let's check out the tentacles.
The Tentacles exhibit focuses on cephalopods of all types. There's plenty on display about octopuses, but you'll also learn all about nautiluses, squid, and of course, the adorable little cuttlefish. The aquarium has several species of the fascinating little creatures on display, from the common cuttlefish to the flamboyant.
I make a stunning cephalopod.
You sure do, honey.
They also had multiple octopuses on display. From miniature masters of disguise to a beautiful larger specimen whose graceful movements were incredible and amazing to watch.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, no, you go through the whole thing and it's all indoor, and there's a chance to step outside, get some fresh air, and there's this amazing view out here.
At the aquarium, you'll also find a cafeteria where you can sit down and enjoy lunch and a couple of drinks. There are multiple gift shops. The main one by the front door is the biggest and has the largest selection, with everything from clothing and hats to toys, books, dinnerware, and more. There's something here for everyone to take home as a little memento of their visit. The Monterey Bay Aquarium's mission is to encourage conservation of the oceans and to showcase the local marine life, which is why throughout the aquarium you'll find the different types of local habitats in the Monterey Bay area so thoroughly showcased. From the famous kelp beds in the deep seas, to the tidal pools and the rocky shores, to the marshlands and even the coastal rivers, this place is an awesome representation of the impressive biodiversity and incredible natural beauty we're lucky enough to have here in our backyard. That was the Monterey Bay Aquarium. We hope you enjoyed coming along with us.
Click like and subscribe and ring the notification bell to get notified of what we do in our next adventure. Thanks so much for watching.
We'll see you in the next one.
Ciao!
Bye.
Kelp, I need somebody, Kelp, not just anybody, Kelp, you know I need someone.